What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. How are you doing? This is David Jagno, as per usual this week with our Quest 2 streams that we've been doing. I am here live in my Oculus Quest 2. I'm going to be playing a bunch of VR zombie games today because it's October, which means it's spooky month, and there are 4 different zombie games on Quest already. 4 different ones that have very different experiences across the 4 of them. So we're going to play a little bit of each today, show off what they're like. We're going to rank them, talk about what each does better than the others, and yeah, just go through the 4 different zombie games. And I'm going to be joined by Tatiana over voice chat, helping out with comments here. How are you doing?
Good. Been a minute. I've been on a stream.
It has been a little while. Jake, yeah, we started as soon as you asked that question. We are absolutely reading your mind. So if you can't read the title of the YouTube video for whatever reason, or you chose not to, the 4 games that we're playing today are going to be Drop Dead, Death Horizon, Arizona Sunshine, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So Drop Dead and Death Horizon, those were there right around Quest launch a year ago. Arizona Sunshine came out later, and then Walking Dead Saints and Sinners just came out on Quest on Tuesday. So it just recently released. It's been out on PC for most of the year. So that's the 4 we're gonna be testing. I'm going to take them from like most accessible, casual, and then ramping it up to the more robust experiences. So we're starting with Drop Dead. This game is very similar to House of the Dead. It's on rails basically. You can't like move around or explore the environment. It's basically a linear rail shooter, but it's really fun. I don't know. I don't quite know what it is about the way they've designed it, but it just feels good. The guns are satisfying and fun. There's a lot of levels. It has co-op as well. So there are 2 movement modes, like I said. There's rail movement, which works like Time Crisis, House of the Dead, all those arcade games where you just kind of stand in one place and you're shooting while it moves you through the level. And then there's also teleport movement, so you can elect when you move and you pick the location and it teleports you there. You can't freely move, it's predetermined spots, but there is that option as well. I like the rails movement because it reminds me of playing House of the Dead a lot.
Does the rails movement give you the motion sickness
I wouldn't want
similar
you to miss
to
it.
like smooth locomotion, or is it not?
Such a shame you couldn't save humanity.
It's
I
not
was
very
really
fast.
rooting for
I would
you.
imagine it's probably comfortable for most people.
You've come so far.
But
to
if you are
fail,
sensitive,
Agent
the
Cypher.
teleport movement should be fine. I don't think there's any artificial movement if you
Some
pick
of
that.
your recently alive colleagues, I think.
Mike
just
Ward
died
draws
to
says
say
they should
hello.
make Typing of the Dead for VR.
Oh, that would be a real
We could
test.
have
You can't
really
even see the
that
game,
keyboard.
you and I, with my
Be awesome.
brains
Yeah,
and your
it's a
willingness to
blindfold,
follow
basically.
orders.
So one thing about this game is that they
But
put
no,
more effort into the
you
story
made
than
your
you really
choice.
needed to.
And now,
So there are like cutscenes between missions and like full voice acting, and there's this whole storyline about time travel, and like it's
over.
actually not too bad. You know, I was kind of surprised. So I believe this is like right before mission. I want to say like 2 or 3 or something. This is not the very beginning.
I'm willing to give you a fighting chance.
I don't think.
Just focus on the gun and pick it up. Those bullets aren't going to fire.
And you'll have to let me know on the audio in chat if you want the game louder, or
One
if you
person
want.
said
like
the
you've run
game
out
is
of
a little loud, but I'm waiting to see if anyone else says the same thing. Yeah, everyone's saying it. There's another guy that said it was too loud.
Alrighty.
Agent Cypher.
Yeah, more people are saying it's too loud.
Turn the game audio down a little bit. Alright, that should be better. Of course, I do it right after there's no longer any real audio, but it should be better now. And using...
Good to have you back, kid. That
There's
must have
talking
been
now
one
again.
hell of
Let's
a
see.
hayride.
You're clean, Agent Cypher.
I think that
Duck
should
up
be a little
better
better.
this
I can
again,
turn it
huh?
down lower though. Let me
Crazy
turn it down a little
bastard
lower.
sure is wily. Let's get you dead and downloaded to see where we went wrong this time.
Okay. No physical abnormalities.
So I am playing
Oh,
this
that's
using the unlocked 90 hertz
TDNA still functioning
mode.
within stable parameters.
We have a guide on how to
Well,
do
as
that with your
stable as
Quest
it can
2,
be for a
even though it's not
time-traveling
officially
genome.
supported yet.
You're still your normal mutant self,
I have a
Cypher.
little frame rate
Damn it.
counter up there. You guys
Data's
can't see it, but I have an overlay.
Your visor must have
So
been
it confirms
hit. We
that
don't
this
have
is
the
running at
dog's
90 hertz for
location
me.
anymore.
Sorry, Cypher.
You guys are
I know
seeing
how hard you
60,
worked to get us
so
that.
it's kind of
Cypher
irrelevant for
found
the
it
stream,
once,
but
the kid'll find it again.
from my
I know,
perspective, I'm
just
seeing
every time
90.
we throw you out there, the timeline has the potential to change forever. I just don't know how many times we can do this
I
without...
do kind of wish
well,
there was a skip
is totally
button for
uncharted
cutscenes, because
territory.
I'm going to be
You
honest,
can
I don't really
handle it,
care
kid.
about
Tough
the
as
story
a
in this
honey
game.
badger. Did I ever tell you about the time I got cornered by a pack of those?
Dad? Maybe we should leave the...
All games just
honey badger
automatically
story
run in
until
90
after
hertz
we
mode
save
with
the
the side
Right,
quest
right.
mod
Sorry,
theory of
Sierra.
everywhere asked.
Dad?
I believe so. That's what it seems like to me.
First,
If it's
let's get
optimized
fitted
for
with
it,
the
it's
new
going to be a
visor.
little bit better of an
I've
experience.
updated this one with all the latest software. It even has UV shielding.
Let's get you out there and back in the Z killing.
2021. One more year, y'all. And then the
Take it
zombies are
easy out
here.
there. You're one of a kind, Cypher.
You
Gonna
think it's
be
going to
lit.
take that long? I don't know.
That you're irreplaceable,
Y'all thought
but
2020 was
I don't
crazy.
think that's
Just
what
wait.
you're doing out there.
Yeah, I know. Alright, come on, come on.
She blames herself for what Monday
Thank
did
you,
to her.
Eric
I keep
Starker,
telling
for the
her it's not her fault. Once she knew what he was up
for
to, she
subscribing.
grabbed you and reported
description.
the
No,
dog.
I know how to
Monday
use
was
Word.
arrested an hour later. He's never
We
forgiven her
appreciate
for
you.
that.
Yeah, so
He
let
took
us know in the
another-
chat. Can you hear both of us okay? Should I adjust
So
either
you
of
can
our
see
audio
why there's
levels
no
further?
room for failure. Maybe you should do some basic training, brush up your skills, see how you handle yourself. Maybe take a few minutes, review the game.
I don't think this game has hand tracking.
Everyone's saying it's fine.
Probably heard that Badger story 1,000 times, right? Let's review the plan.
Someone's
The practice,
Raboli
then
said
5
Christmas
months later.
2020 zombies in real life, which reminds me of the Christmas event for Killing Floor 2 from like 2 years ago with Gary Busey as Santa Claus. I don't know if you ever played that. The maps are still like, you can still play them, but it's super funny. And the
Killing Floor 2
story
is
just gets
awesome.
too ridiculous. I love Killing Floor 2.
Killing Floor
Welcome to the
Incursion was
ranch,
really good
kid.
too. That was the
We're
VR one.
last unit standing
I'm
since the dog
Not gonna
fought
lie,
the
I'm a
CIA's
little
network.
too scared to play it.
Good job, I installed that
Yeah, it makes
firewall.
sense.
I have
think
like
it-
an issue with horror in
has-
VR.
It has a wave-based mode now that's like actual Killing Floor,
The
but
visor has a
the
built-in
base
tractor
game
beam
was like
just for
an
you,
actual narrative
our
storyline.
enterprising agent.
It was
Oh.
quite a bit different.
Interesting.
Nice work, kid. Accuracy is important. Ready?
I'm gonna try to aim with my left eye as much as possible because that's what the stream sees. It just feels a little unnatural.
Let's see your quick draw.
Ah,
Reload anytime
weird,
you
like,
get a break.
I
You don't want
tried
Z
to shoot with
catching
my
you
left eye,
pants
like in
down.
games, in real life, and
You need to
I
reload to hit all of
my
these.
left eye is not the good one, even though
No,
my
me
right eye
neither.
is the one with the like the weaker, like, or I guess it needs the stronger prescription. But I can't hold a gun with my right hand, even with video games. Like everything that I do except for right is with my left hand. I even have like a left-handed bass guitar.
You can get even
Can't
faster.
well, that's
compute.
interesting.
Good
I have something a
Weird
little
thing.
bit like that.
Try it.
Whenever I throw a frisbee, I do it left-handed, but everything else I'm right-handed. I don't know
Huh.
why.
Interesting.
And that goes for Echo VR as well. It feels more natural to throw it with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed.
I throw with my left.
Alright, let's see how many
Think about it for a
bullseyes you
second.
can hit, kid.
And so it is a very
Align the
simple
dots
reload
on your
system.
gun
You just
sight
point the
and
gun down, you kind of flick it down,
voila.
and then it's an active reload bar, kind of like Gears of War did back on the 360. I think they invented that. I'm pretty sure.
Deadheads won't stand
Where
a
if you
chance.
pull the trigger
Okay.
at the right moment, it'll reload faster, but if you miss it and pull it at the wrong moment, it reloads slower.
Ready to face off against
Hmm.
a moving
So it's kind of a
target?
risk-reward.
Timing and practice. Am I right?
Hey, just
Oh.
keeping you on your toes.
There's a pack of zombs descending on your position.
Copy that, Rattler.
And so one of the real appeals of this game for me, other than just the arcade zombie shooting, is the co-op. Oh, what happened?
I don't know, but Cool Banan said going to get the Quest 2 tomorrow, but I can't sleep because I'm so excited. It's 1 a.m. for me right now. Any tips?
What the heck happened? My entire...
Go to sleep, it will go quicker. Oh, what happened?
I don't know. The whole screen shut off of the of the headset. Maybe I was peeking out of the nose gap to look at comments real quick, and I think when I did that, I accidentally pressed the power button and put it to sleep.
Oops.
Yeah, hang on. I think we're back. Yeah, there we go. My bad. That's what I get for trying to look at comments.
This is what you get.
Final score. Look at that. 3 stars. Beautiful, beautiful.
Is it 3 out of 3? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Looks like it's 3 out of 3.
If anyone has any questions about Drop Dead, let us know over in the comments. Probably try to do
I'll check out the cache.
more horror games the rest of this month, I think, would be a good idea. We have Blair Witch coming out near the end of the month, which is going to be really cool in VR.
Did you play the PC version?
I played like an hour of it and got kind of bored.
Kiki hated it. I watched her play it, and she's like,
what I'm
mad.
thinking is I think that game's going to fit VR better because it's very slow.
Yeah.
And it's all about just exploring this forest with your dog, and it's like very atmospheric. So I think that kind of stuff is amplified in VR. So I'm hoping it plays better, because when I played it on Xbox like the first hour, and I just got so bored with it. But
yeah, she got frustrated with it too. Theory of Everywhere asks, so because Drop Dead has scoreboards, does it somehow know which levels you have opened in spite of not having cloud save?
Z's dead ahead.
I don't really know what you mean.
You
mean like if you went from Quest 1 to Quest 2?
They said like my name would be on the scoreboard for the last level, but presumably will be locked when I start this up on a Quest 2.
That is correct, yes. Because I think I'm on like level 5 or 6 on Quest 1, but it's making me start from the beginning.
Spinners, shoot that goop. It's pure acid.
This game actually began life on, I want to say Gear VR is where it first came out, and then it got ported to Rift and Go and Quest.
Out the way if you've got no bullets left.
Mike Ward, I agree with you. Like horror games, I gotta be in the right mood or have people with me, and I've told David this before, like horror VR is really difficult for me, and I always have an issue closing my eyes. I always forget that it's okay to close my eyes if I get too scared. When I did,
I feel like the crazy thing about VR horror is even if you close your eyes, it still feels like you're there.
Yeah, and
like
that's like the
like a
spooky
non-VR
thing.
game, you can look away from the screen or pause it, but you're still inside it even if you close your eyes.
It's like difficult to even like take off the headset for whatever reason. Like
Oh,
when we
baby.
did Nicodemus and I got separated,
Why don't you pick it up and
And-
whack some Z's?
Chris and his best friend went off. It was very scary. Had to figure out everything on my own. Heard them yelling at each other and arguing because they couldn't figure out the puzzles. I could. They could not.
It may not be sharp.
We got
but
the
it will
bad
send
ending.
those Z's flying.
Oh, you can knock back the little acid things. It's kind of buggy though. That's weird.
Shoot them?
You can, yeah.
Doc won't like those
Oh, that was
Damn it. Gotta put 'em out of their
that was
misery.
nice.
I feel you, Jake. I get paranoid with VR horror too. First Quest experience I had was at CES 2019. And what was it? Face Your Fears 2? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah.
With the spiders. Oh my gosh, I remember sweating. Like my palms were sweaty. Like my hair was getting messed up because I was so sweaty. I had like the chills, and you guys
Oh,
made
crap.
me finish the demo. It was so sad. Theory of Everywhere said, I can play Dread Halls running through a level with no issue. At first, I could barely even play.
Watch out.
What's the name of the game that we're playing again? I've already forgot.
This
someone
is
else asked.
Drop Dead.
Drop Dead. I was gonna say Dead Run, but that Drop Dead.
Sleep tight, big guy. Okay, watch your
You know what
step.
game would actually be kind of cool for VR, and no one's probably gonna know what I'm talking about. But if they redid Lifeline, did you ever play Lifeline on PlayStation 2?
No, I didn't.
You had to buy the headset for the PlayStation, and you actually controlled the character with your voice and voice commands, and you watched them through like
Ah.
CCTV footage.
That's so it's like a more advanced version of Hey You
That's like some
Pikachu.
kinda crazy
Kinda, yeah.
weapon
Which
stacked
that
all
is
over the
specifically a game I want in VR. Like,
ranch.
because they have BOGO, or BOGO, however you say it, on Quest, which is a cute little pet game, but it's so limited. Like, I don't know why they haven't done like Nintendogs or like a Tamagotchi VR type thing, where
me
you
the
actually get to
Tamagotchi
use your
VR.
voice and like teach them, you know, tricks and commands and like it would be so cool.
Queen Bee says hello to you.
Oh, hey Belle, what's up?
Oh, and kid.
Or even better, like, make it so it's like integrated into Oculus Home, like you have a pet.
Yes!
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So does the Quest 2 not have like customizable home like the Rift does? 'Cause that was the one thing that
no,
really
it's
made
like
me
the
mad
it's
about
like the Quest
1.
1. I'm hoping they add that back at some
I love
point.
making my little house.
Even the Oculus Go had rooms, which you could customize a
Rooms
little
were
bit.
the best.
Yeah.
I could like put weird pictures on the walls.
Yeah, you could pull pictures from your Facebook and Instagram and hang them inside your apartment, and you can invite people over. You could even launch games from inside rooms, and you would automatically go into the game together. It was such a cool feature.
That was getting hairy.
Danny A asks, how long is this
If
game?
only I'd realized about Monday's
I don't know the exact hour
None
amount.
of us knew, honey.
scant consolation.
I mean, I would say it's probably around 5 or 6 to get through all the levels.
And
I
then
mean, maybe
Jake,
maybe that's an overestimate, but it is relatively replayable with scoreboards, and co-op makes it pretty fun. I really like this game on co-op. It's really neat.
Jake asked, yes or no, is the Quest 2 better than the
Why
Rift
fire
S?
one gun when you can fire two?
I would say the only instance where I would say the Rift S might be preferable still
Oh, and Dad's
is
hand
if
stashes
you
are
really
everywhere, so keep
don't
an eye
like
out.
VR headsets that squish onto your face. I haven't tried the Elite strap for the Quest yet. Jamie loves it. I know he swear buys it, so maybe that makes it a lot better.
Double the
But the
He doesn't
Rift
wear
S
glasses,
Halo
though,
strap,
does he?
yeah, that's true. The Rift S's Halo strap is extremely comfortable.
Yes. I could
And-
live in a Rift S.
The other thing I would say too
About
is,
how they used to be people.
I think the refresh rate and resolution are both better on Quest 2 though.
There's no coming back for that.
So even if you're looking for primarily a PC headset, I think I would probably say like the Quest 2 is still better, even if you're going to be wired the whole time.
The Rift S has always been my favorite. I, obviously haven't tried a Quest 2 yet. But
I mean,
kinda sad
there's
the
an
Rift
argument
S
to be
kinda
made
died.
about the Facebook requirement, but even that's going to be required on past Oculus headsets eventually.
sure.
The Quest 2 is the only one that requires it out of the box right now, but they're eventually all going to be connected. Whoop. Hoya! Oh god.
Rets Tech said, I just got the Elite strap today and I playtested this morning. It works perfectly and it minimizes the push on the face by at least 50%.
That's awesome. I'm really looking
That's
forward
good.
to mine getting here. I
That's something
I
we
was
weren't taught in
falsely
CIA
assuming that Oculus would send those out for all their review kits, but they only did it for Jamie because he got it early. So I pre-ordered mine, but I don't have an estimate on when it's going to be here.
Thanks for subscribing, Steve.
I did get my VR cover though. That makes a big difference for me, because especially whenever it comes to games that make you sweat, which for me is virtually every VR game. The face pad getting wet is so disgusting. So
I'll never forget that Beat Saber stream. I think you did it in a Vive. And you had like sweat pooled like just
Oh,
at the
yeah.
bottom of the goggles.
Oh, yeah,
The
that was
Lollipop
gross.
Man said, I had the Rift 1, the Quest, and now the Quest 2, and the Quest 2 is by far the best.
I agree.
Jake Plays said, have you played VR on HTC Vive Pro? If you have, is the hand tracking as bad as people say?
Vive Pro hand tracking, I don't recall the quality. I think that was via Leap Motion, which is pretty outdated. The Quest hand tracking is the best VR hand tracking I've ever tried. But that being said, it is not officially supported in hardly anything. You can use it in the main menu and the browser and virtual desktop. You can like use your hand as a mouse cursor. And then Elixir, Waltz of the Mage, or Waltz of the Wizard. Maybe a handful of other actual games support it, but not very many do. There are some things on side quests, but it's not really a widely supported feature yet. Okay, do people want me to do one more level then switch games probably?
Yeah, do one more level. You only got a star and a half.
It's hard
This
to
is an
get
amateur hour.
good stars in this game. I remember it's like actually really tough.
1011. I don't think there is a Rift S2 coming out.
No.
Quest, you can play PC games. You just have to use a USB-C 2.0 cable.
I think we got a quote from Oculus in an interview basically confirming that they're not going to develop any more PC-only headsets. I think the Rift as a brand is basically dead.
I almost think it's too soon for that.
I
Maybe
agree.
that's an unpopular opinion.
I also think the Rift was a better name from a marketing perspective. Like it
I'm
implies.
disappointed in Quest 2.
Yeah, it like the Rift that implies like entering another like dimension. You know, like two separate worlds colliding.
Yeah.
It's such a cool name.
Like, I get Quest, like you're going on a quest because you can go anywhere, but I was really hoping for like a different name, like the Quest, you know, the Oculus Expedition or something, like something that made it different. You know, but let's see. Pod Comedy TJ asked, "What's Walking Dead Onslaught like? Is it worth waiting for update?"
That game is not on Quest. It's a PC or PSVR only at the moment. You can read my full review at uploadvr.com. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I did not like it very much. The short version is basically, it kind of feels unfinished. It was originally supposed to be focused on co-op, and then they got rid of that feature and tried to make it more story focused. But the end result was a game that feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be. And there was a lot of things that I didn't like about it, like the fact that when you're on a level, the Horde is constantly chasing you from behind, but they don't actually animate zombies. Instead, they just have a red fog curtain closing, like a Battle Royale game. So it's really dumb. It's also pretty unpolished from what I played. There were a lot of bugs. It's just not a very good game. I wasn't a fan. If you want to play a Walking Dead game in VR, Saints and Sinners is the one to get. I mean, spoiler, I guess, for the end of the stream, but that's the best zombie game you can get in VR, period. And it's on Quest now as well, natively, so you don't even have to virtual desktop it.
We've got 2 more questions. Jake is asking, what is the worst hand tracking headset apart from the Quest 2?
The worst hand tracking? I don't really know of any that do it at all, other than plugging Elite Motion into a Rift or a Vive or a Quest. I mean, there's not really much competition in the market for that kind of stuff. And
Thanks for
as far as I know.
subscribing, Gerard. And then Dice is asking, I'm getting the Quest 2, and would my wife be able to use my Quest 1 and play my games with me, and how would it work with Facebook profiles?
So basically, my understanding is there's not anything stopping you from having 2 quests that are connected to the same Facebook profile. There's not really a problem with that. The issue is that if you wanted to play something multiplayer, as far as I know, most games are not going to let you use the same account simultaneously on 2 headsets. Just like you wouldn't expect to use the same account on 2 PS4s to play online. It's, you know, that's just not really how that works. I've seen on Reddit some people have claimed that they've got it working with some Quest games. I haven't confirmed that myself or seen it actually in action, so I don't really understand how that works or if it works. But obviously you could connect your second quest to your wife's Facebook and make a new account. Obviously the downside to that is having to purchase a game again. But if it's a free game like Rec Room or VR Chat Something like that, obviously you wouldn't have to buy it again because it's free.
Star Wars Squadron is PC VR and PS VR only, right? Not on Quest 2.
That's right.
I believe
That's right.
we published something that said that they have no. They're not aiming to do anything with the Quest, right?
That's right.
That
Yep.
wrong? Yeah.
They said they don't have any plans. That might change, but I don't think that game could run on a Quest natively. It would have to be some type of, adjusted, port that isn't the same game.
Can you say you've yeed your last haw before shooting a zombie? Eric asks.
Alright, come here, big boy. You've yeed your last haw.
Flavia asks if they should sell their Rift S to get the Quest 2. I guess my opinion would be like, I don't know, if you still use your Rift S and it's comfortable for you, I wouldn't. Like, if it were me, I personally would keep my Rift S just because it's so comfortable. But I don't know how you feel about that.
For me, the comfort difference isn't dramatic enough for it to be worth keeping a headset that its manufacturer doesn't even support.
Thought you might need some backup.
That's my
Sure.
opinion on it. I don't think Facebook wants you to have a Rift S, and they made that pretty clear ever since it was announced, to be honest. They kind of killed it from day one whenever the Quest was the exact same price. And now, I mean, it hasn't gotten updated in a long time. It never got hand tracking, even though they said it might in the future. I mean, I don't know. If you're okay with having to use Facebook, in which case I think you probably are if you already have a Rift S, you probably accepted that implicitly. Then just get a Quest 2. I mean, you can probably sell your Rift S and get $200 for it. It'll cover almost the entire cost of a Quest 2. That would be my recommendation personally.
Couple questions.
Here, this was drop dead,
Sure.
just real quick. This was drop dead. It is on Rift and Quest with crossplay. It has co-op. It is a House of the Dead style rail shooter. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. It feels really good to play. I like it a lot. I'm definitely a fan of it. So I just wanted to recap that. We're gonna move into Death Horizon now, which is similar to this. It's very similar, but more free roam.
Where did those questions go? Nick asked if you've tried Propagation VR on Steam. It's apparently.
I actually haven't. I've heard about it though. That is one that I intend to try sometime soon. Okay, let me try to make sure my battery pack is plugged in. I think we should be good. Yeah, there we go.
MyTube3622 asked, is there a difference in gameplay when you buy games which are available in the Oculus Store or Steam Store?
If you're playing on a PC headset, there usually isn't much of a difference. The one thing to keep in mind is sometimes a Steam game might have some slight performance issues on a Oculus headset, as opposed to if you're playing it on the Oculus Store, at least in my experience. And the reason for that is because if you're using your Oculus headset, it has to open up the Oculus like runtime for it to operate, and then it also is running Steam VR at the same time. So you're kind of injecting yourself into two like overlays essentially. So sometimes that can result in some performance issues. It's very rare. Most of the time it's not a problem. Typically if you get a game on the Oculus Store and you use an Oculus headset, it's going to be pretty seamless. Every now and then I've had some issues, and then the flip side of that is it goes both ways. If you have a non-Oculus headset and you use Revive to play an Oculus Store game, there's no guarantee that's going to work. It could, if a patch gets issued for the game, it could break Revive support. It might, controller mapping might be off, etc. But also another caveat to that explanation is Oculus is going to start selling their games on Steam. Later this year in December, when Medal of Honor Above and Beyond comes out, it will launch on Steam at the same time as Oculus Store. So they are going to start having their games directly on Steam as well. So yeah, for the most part, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. If you prefer Steam, you can use Steam with an Oculus headset. There's not really a problem with that.
1011 asked if hand tracking is going to be used in the future for games. David can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that is up to the developer and whether or not they want to develop for hand tracking.
Yeah, That's my understanding.
And
It's-
then Daniel asked for the quest, does the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Tourist Edition have the Tourist Edition recipes?
I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine the answer to that could be found on the store for the game. I don't actually know though, I'm sorry. So now we're playing Death Horizon. This game is not a rail shooter like Drop Dead. This one you actually explore environments. It's, to me, in my opinion, I think it's one of the better looking Quest games. I think it has a nice art style, and the lighting is very good. You know, lots of like nice reflections for light sources, and you know, for a game that's going for a realistic art style, I think this one looks pretty good on Quest. And there's actual climbing involved here, you can see. This one is, I'm gonna say it's one of the most underrated Quest games, personally. I think. I want to say recently got co-op. I don't think that was there at launch. I think that was a more recent addition.
Did your phone just go off?
Yeah.
Welcome to the family, son.
See, I wasn't crazy. Thank you, Wilson Coronado, for subscribing.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Daniel also said, I've bought the Tourist Edition for The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on Steam VR, but it never gave me any of the DLC recipes despite it being activated.
Well, that's weird.
That is
sounds
weird.
like an issue you might want to take up with the developers potentially.
I would also check, because I know this has happened to me a few times, if you have like an update for the game that's kind of stuck in like the pending downloads, because that happens with me with Steam all the time, and not just with VR games, just anything. Koyo Kyon, probably said that wrong. Thank you for subscribing. Robert asks, which news outlet or when did they say Oculus is selling games on Steam in the future?
They said that during Facebook Connect. They announced Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is coming to Steam in December. You can find the article at uploadvr.com, but they said it during Facebook Connect during their live stream.
And 1011 asks, does Quest 2 have anything over the Rift S? Is PC powered better for smoother immersive game?
Yeah, so you can connect your Quest 2 to your PC using a USB-C cable, and it'll work just like a Rift does. So I guess the answer to your question is there's not really anything the Rift S can do that the Quest can't, if that's what you're asking.
Jake asked, because I have not the best graphics card and I use virtual desktop to play games, will it put as much pressure on my graphics card?
My understanding is that it would be the same amount of pressure because it will run the game as if you have a Rift connected, and then if you're using virtual desktop, it's going to then require a good Wi-Fi network at your home in order to play it seamlessly. So it's, I mean, I would say it's probably a little, I mean, arguably more demanding. I don't know the exact technology behind it, but I don't think it's less demanding at all. If anything, it might be more demanding.
That's what my assumption would be too.
Oh, whoa, I didn't know I could jump.
How did you jump?
The A button. Is there no reloading? I'm just like shooting endlessly, so I guess not. I haven't played this game in so long. I think this game was on Go as well. Like it was a teleport movement only Go game. I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people write it off and it doesn't get as much attention as Arizona Sunshine or the other ones that ported over from PC.
If you play Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, will it be the Oculus Store version? I would assume so, right?
I don't really understand the question. If you're playing the native version on Quest, then you don't have a choice. Yeah, it's going to be the Quest version. If you play on PC, you can buy it on either. It's up to you. If you're asking about connecting your Quest to your PC, you can play either version as well. Just depends on whatever version you own.
MyTube3622 asked if virtual desktop would work with Wi-Fi 6 routers. I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh, Jesus.
Is there no flashlight? Get some ammo. Alright, so I guess, do I climb up in here? That is what I do, I think. Or no, maybe not. I think that's where the zombie came from. Oh boy. I need that explosion thing. Where'd it go?
That's a good question. Is that the explosion thing?
Well, I killed one of them. I thought I would kill more.
I don't like how their like eyes are bright red. It makes it scarier. I don't know why, it just does.
I wish headshots would kill them, but you need 2 headshots.
I mean, that's like Resident Evil 7 was like that.
Yeah, I mean those weren't zombies though.
They were bullet sponges. You could shoot those dudes in the head like 4 times. That Resident Evil 2 though was the same way.
Yeah, that's true. That was so frustrating.
Like, oh my gosh.
3's the same way too. The 3 remake.
I was not a fan of the 3.
That was fine. I liked it for what it was. I did not like Nemesis. He was not scary at all.
Nemesis was scripted, and that really, really upset me as like a diehard Resident Evil fan. I was like, no, like he's supposed to show up whenever he feels like it. You're not supposed to like,
yeah, I mean,
I'm
they
gonna
made
go around
Mr.
the corner,
X
and
act
he'll
like
be there.
Nemesis was supposed to, and then Nemesis was just a boss guy that wouldn't go away. His fights were okay though.
Yeah, the one on the roof was frustrating. I remember Solu, one of Kiki's friends, he actually helped us mod our Twitch stream for our events. He was streaming Resident Evil 2, played on PC, and downloaded the Mr. X mod
that's cool.
for with the Thomas the Tank Engine. But it was half bugged, so he still looked like Mr. X, but you heard the song every time he came around the corner, and that was terrifying. Like, it was more terrifying than just Mr. X on his own.
That's pretty funny.
What was this game called again?
This is Death Horizon.
Death Horizon G-Dog Cheeseburger.
Ooh, dual wielding, huh?
Well, you're not bad, are you?
I guess I don't need the 3rd gun.
Search all the lockers.
Is it the same as this one? Yeah, I think they're all identical.
Jake said, I got 5 kilohertz Wi-Fi, but my card is not supported GE 1030. But I was only wondering if it would be less bad graphic.
I don't know the answer to that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like even with like a 1060, to comment on the other people, like you can play Alex on a 1060, just don't expect to be able to play it on super high, settings. You're just gonna have to
I mean, basically the long and short of it is, regardless of whether or not you're using virtual desktop or a wired headset, the quality of the game's visuals and your performance of the game itself depends on your computer. And then on top of that, if you're using virtual desktop wirelessly, the quality of your internet connection and your router are going to determine the latency and all that within the game. So for me personally, I prefer virtual desktop in almost every case. The only exception really is if I'm playing a game like Asgard's Wrath that really requires within like half-second reaction time for parrying and stuff. Then you can kind of tell with the latency a little bit more.
Thank you for the donation, Cool Banan. I think that's euros. Is that a euro? I think that's the euro.
Oh, thank you.
Euro. Is the Quest 2 tracking better than the CV1's tracking? I would hope so.
No. I think opinions on that are going to vary, because the Quest and Quest 2 are both inside-out tracking using the cameras on the headset. So by nature of the cameras only facing forward and up and down a little bit, there are dead spots. Like if I put my hands behind my back, the cameras can't see them. So on a pure volume perspective, the Rift 1 is better because you can set, 3 or 4 cameras around your entire room, and so it can always see your controllers in your head all the time. That being said, that's not an issue with Quest necessarily, it's just an issue with the inside-out tracking format.
I feel, and this is possibly a hot take, but I feel that, using inside out is better if you don't have a lot of room.
Yeah.
Because in
I
my
agree with
apartment,
that.
I've always had issues with the sensors and trying to set it up and stuff.
Oh my
There's a
god,
few more
Jesus
questions.
Christ.
Yes, Jake, we are in America. So you got your Quest 2 on launch, right?
They sent me one about a week and a half before.
Okay. And then MyTube asked, does the trigger controller have vibration features, and would that affect battery in the trigger?
Yeah, there is vibration. I think you can adjust it in the settings, like you can make it more intense or less intense. I think, don't, quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure you can. The vibration is better, though, I will say that. It's more nuanced. It's, more, precise vibration. It feels better. It feels a little more accurate. It's not just the whole controller shaking all the time.
I know Gerald was talking about it on Twitter, saying that the haptics were way better than they were before.
Yeah, I like them. Oh my god. Of course I'm getting a phone call right now. Hang on one second.
Nano phone. How was
Sorry
the
about
vibration?
this.
I'll ask him that. Sorry, it's off. A little.
Alright.
How is the vibration, or the haptics rather, compared to the Move controllers? PSVR.
I don't feel like I've used PSVR a whole lot in the past year, so it's hard for me to remember exactly. I would probably say better, I guess.
G-Dog Cheeseburger asked if they should sell their Quest 1 and get a Quest 2.
That kind of depends. If you have no one interested in having a Quest that then maybe. I personally am going to keep mine because I think it's going to be cool to be able to do local multiplayer. That's a pretty cool idea to me, playing 11 table tennis or Iron Lights or Creed or Dance Central, stuff like that in the same room. To me, that's pretty enticing, even if it isn't technically a local headset to headset connection. If it's actually online and it's just we're in the same room, that's still pretty cool to me. So I think I'm going to be keeping mine for sure.
Robert asks if anyone knows the minimum virtual desktop streaming quality for comfort. It defaulted to 91 for me, but I imagine you can go down to the 50 or so.
That's entirely case by case. I know Ian, for example, he would get sick on the Rift S at 80 hertz just because he prefers the index going all the way up to 120. He has a very sensitive VR sickness threshold, and that's someone that's been covering VR for 6+ years. It still affects him really strongly. It's entirely case by case. For me, it doesn't matter that much. I've played games with poor performance in VR, and I was fine. When No Man's Sky first came out, that game would chug sometimes, but I just kept playing because I liked it.
You and Ian are on such opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to motion sickness, though.
Oh, we are, absolutely. Yeah.
100%. Thank you,
Yeah.
Deanne256, for subscribing. I'm assuming the answer is yes, David. JD Drifted Harbor asks, is it true if you're permabanned from Facebook, no Quest for you?
Yes, that is correct. We've been in contact with Facebook trying to get some clarity on the process, on how that's determined, and everything like that. It sounds like it's an algorithm or an AI of some kind that makes those decisions. Some decisions seem to be, I don't know if I would say an error, but people are getting banned that probably shouldn't be, according to them. So we've talked to Facebook about it, and basically they tell you that you can submit a ticket and see what happens. But it seems like a lot of people, if they're banned already, even if they try making a new Facebook account, even if it's, you know, whatever, like, a lot of people are still having issues. But yeah, you need Facebook to use a Quest too. Like, there's no way around it.
I'm, you know, and this, obviously my personal opinion, I just think it's really crappy because, you know, what's the minimum age for like a Facebook account? Is it 13, like everything else on the internet?
I think so.
So like, let's say you have a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old kid at home, right? And they want a Quest. Like my friend's daughter, you know, she's gonna be 13 soon, and she loves VR. Like whenever I go visit her, I bring my Quest, and she plays it all day and night. Like, if the parent isn't on social media, and you don't want the kid to have a social media account, like that puts you in a really like bad position, because then you have to make some kind of account. And I just feel social media is just such an interesting thing, right? Even though, you know, part of it is what I do for a living, but like Facebook is hands down my least favorite platform. Like, I deactivated my Facebook for a week to take a break from people, and it was great, honestly. I was like, wow. I mean, I kept Messenger active because I still use it to communicate, but like, if I could do without a Facebook profile, I honestly would. And it's just super disappointing that
I think
you
most
have
people
to have
kind of are in agreement with you there.
Yeah, and like, I feel like it's super gatekeeping. Like, we want a VR headset in everyone's house, right? We want everyone to have access to VR, and by putting this Facebook stipulation on there, I just feel we're kind of taking a few steps backwards with that. Wisdom I-23 asked, does anyone know if you can use Quest 2 for A-frame web VR sites?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means. Oh, bam!
I agree with you, the mindbenders.com. I would assume that they track your MAC address. That would be my guess. But I mean, but then there's also, like, if you go somewhere else, the different connection. You know, I mean, there's got to be more to it.
Access denied.
That. Denied. Can't go here.
Okay, so do people want to keep watching this game, or should I switch to Arizona Sunshine now?
I will see what the people say. Jake, honestly, that's to give you my tips here. It's very possible that you might get motion sickness the first time you play games like Onward, Beat Saber, Super Hot. I would say if you start to feel like 3 people have said next game.
Okay.
If you start to feel like cold sweats or even like a weird taste in your mouth or a little bit of nausea, take off the headset, you know, for a half an hour or so. Make sure you're hydrated. I also wouldn't like eat right before going into VR. And like, I don't drink, but I always tell people, like, if people want to try VR at my house, I'm like, you can't drink and play VR because that'll just, you know.
And I will also say, like,
well.
there are definitely things that I would recommend doing as introductory experiences if you're not sure. Like, anything that has you moving artificially through the world, like that game I was just playing, that's more likely to make you sick. If you were to play a game that either is stationary, like Beat Saber, or a game that lets you teleport everywhere you go rather than artificial movement, those are less likely to make you sick. I know that some people claim that they can build up tolerance and quote-unquote get their VR legs, but that's not always true. Ian's a great example. He probably has more time in VR than anyone I know, and he still gets motion sick. So it's entirely case by case. But that being said, there are comfort options in a lot of games. So, like, for example, I don't know if this one has it, but like a Skyrim VR or Solaris, I think Walking Dead Saints and Sinner, like a lot of games that have artificial movement like that, they have options like whenever you move, it'll dim your field of view. It's called like a vignette effect. And by doing that, it gives you sort of tunnel vision, which helps eliminate motion sickness some. There are other things too, like sometimes whenever you're moving, it'll have like streaks going by your face. It kind of helps simulate that movement. You know, some people say like if you walk in place or kind of jog when you move inside the game, it helps. Because the root cause of the VR motion sickness is your brain, your equilibrium is expecting you to move whenever your eyes see movement. So it's almost like VR is tricking you into thinking you're supposed to be moving when you're not, and it makes you feel sick. And so there are tricks that some developers can do to help eliminate and alleviate that. And you know, like I was saying, if it's stationary, it's less likely to make you sick. Also, if it's a cockpit game like Star Wars Squadrons or In Space, that's a cockpit shooter on Quest, or some racing games. If you have like a cockpit around you, sometimes that can help, because like if you're driving a car, for example, you don't feel like you're going 60 miles an hour, but you are, and so your brain is used to that premise that you have a cockpit around you. So those are some tricks.
Someone told me that if you bite your thumb, your VR sickness goes away. Now, I know there is a trick with nausea and I've done this before, because I actually got super motion sick at Disneyland last summer, because they did California Soarin' instead of like Soarin' Around the World, and the quality of the video was like really bad. Got super motion sickness, and what I did was I folded in my thumbs as I'm doing it now, like you can see me. And then like I just kind of wrapped my fingers around it and just kind of held my thumbs down, and that kind of helped. But when it comes to VR sickness, personally, everyone's different, but I don't test it. Like if I start to get sick, I take off the headset and I just stop for a little bit. And I, eat some gummies, or like some ginger gummies, ginger chews. Those seem to help.
Yeah, ginger does help. Ginger does help. Yeah.
What are the
a fan can
get?
help if you have a cool fan blowing on you. That can help. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go into Horde Mode, or actually let me explain. So Arizona Sunshine, it is a story mode zombie shooter with a semi-open world, I guess I would say. Like it's a linear campaign, but the levels are very large, so you can kind of explore a little bit while the zombies are, attacking or whatever. It's fully co-op, so you can play the whole campaign with a friend. It also has Horde Mode. So I think Horde Mode is up to 4 players. Let me look in the menu real quick. Yeah, if you do multiplayer, allow, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, up to 4. You can do up to 4 people in multiplayer. Campaign is 2 only. And there are also 2 DLC options. There's the Damned DLC and Dead Man. Both of those add about an hour and a half or so. Of content. They're very cheap. The full campaign itself, I think, is around 4 hours long. So if you bought that and the DLC, you're looking at around 7 hours of the zombie story, which is pretty solid. And then the Horde Mode is it's pretty fun. I like it. There's a good selection of maps at the moment. If you buy the DLC, I think those come with new Horde maps too. I think there's 3 by default. Yeah, 3 in the base game. So yeah, let's check out the mine. This one is a pretty scary one because of all the darkness. It's spoopy. We're doing the Horde Mode right now, and the main reason for that is because the campaign has a bit of a slow start. So I think it's better to just jump into the Horde Mode to show the gameplay.
Nathan Malloy is watching from his Quest 2, so the giant keyboard is jank.
Nice. Welcome. This game originally came out for PC VR in 2016. It won our Game of the Year award in 2016. So coming up on 4 years old. And then it was, I think, ported to PSVR. After that, it has aim controller support over there, so you can use the aim controller for two-handed weapons. Then it's on Quest now. I think it came out this year. I don't think it was out last year on Quest. It does have Quest 2 enhancements. This is one of the games that has very specific improvements visually. There's like more blood spatter, more detail. The textures are a little sharper. I think the draw distance is better on Quest 2. Trying to see if there's some more ammo around here, but all the ammo boxes are empty right now. I guess it'll be after the first wave. Oh, I forgot to get that other gun.
GG.
There we go. Oh, that's a grenade. There we go.
Don't pull the pin. How do you turn on swipe mode for the Oculus Quest 2 keyboard? I have no idea.
No idea. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go.
What's the difference between The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead Tourist Edition on the Quest? I have no idea. You have.
Someone earlier was saying something about crafting recipes. I think maybe you just start out with a little bit of a boost to some stuff. Maybe like more ingredients at camp to start out. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure you can look that up online. I would imagine they have info about what the different editions have.
Should also be on the store page.
Yeah. There's some more ammo. Yeah, this game has a semi-active reload system where you have to eject the magazine by pressing A, and then you put the gun to your chest to get a new magazine. It's not like Onward where you have to physically like open and put the magazine in and then like load the chamber and all that kind of stuff. It's a little more simple.
Does the 12 support Pavlov on standalone? I think they meant the 2? Pavlov is PC only, right?
Pavlov, there is a Quest version and side quests, but it's not on the store. But yeah, everything on side quest that works on Quest 1 works on Quest 2. Just in general, all Quest 1 content works on Quest 2. So far, there's only one game that has Quest 2 exclusive content that the Quest 1 will not have, and that's Rec Room. There are 2 game modes that are going to be Quest 2 exclusive. Battle Royale and I think the Pirate Adventure is the other one. They've updated that so that it works on Quest 2, but it will not work on Quest 1, they've said.
Are white dots normal and pass through on the Quest 2?
White dots? I would imagine... Is that just your boundary? Because I know there are some like white, yellow, orange dots that pop up if you have an object in the way. That could potentially, you could trip or something. Unless I'm confused and you're referring to something else.
And then the Tourist Edition, Daniel said, should give you 3 different crafting recipes, collectible voodoo dolls, and the game's full soundtrack. So now we know.
Here we go. Let's... Oh god! Jesus. Die!
Or not on my zombie apocalypse.
Okay,
It died right there.
Uh-oh.
Jimster is at... Did you just pull the pin?
I did not. I dropped it on the ground.
What's David's favorite horror game in VR, and is he looking forward to Wraith the Oblivion?
Favorite VR horror game? Probably Resident Evil 7 still. Followed closely by The Exorcist VR. And yes, Wraith the Oblivion does look good. I don't know very much about the World of Darkness as a setting, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a pretty new experience for me. I'm also looking forward to Blair Witch VR, like we were talking about earlier. Mostly just because I want to see if it makes the game better. I didn't really like it on Xbox very much.
Yeah, actually an IPD of 63 is like perfect. Like I have an IPD of 63.5, and that's literally like the ideal perfect IPD.
I want to say mine is like 66. I want to say. I have my Quest 2 the little slider, I have it set in between 2 and 3. If you're very precise with clicking it and you very carefully position it between 2 settings, you can do that. That being said, it won't be as precise as the first quest because it was more incremental. And I think it even popped up on screen what number you were at. It doesn't do that on this one. You just have to kind of click it back and forth until you feel like you have the right one.
Kyle M asks, how does the accuracy of shooting the gun feel in the game?
This gun feels very good. The gun mechanics in this game are awesome. There's a lot of different guns. It's a little weird because while I'm streaming I try to aim with my left eye and that's not my normal eye that I aim with. Normally I would aim with my right eye, but the footage for some reason is left eye only. So I try to aim with that eye just so that the stream has a better view. Oh god. One thing that I always forget is you can shoot the legs. Oh crap, I died. You can shoot their legs and they'll fall down on the ground. Well, I got rank 18,000, so that. My accuracy wasn't too bad. 60% is pretty good.
G-Dog Cheeseburger
this
says...
person survived until wave 894? What
That's
in
ridiculous.
the world?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
G-Dog Cheeseburger says that they believe you can make it film the right eye.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Is that the case for capturing footage? Like using, if I were to go in here and click, you know, if I were to click on share and then do record video, like is that what you're talking about? Or casting can capture the right eye? Because I'm casting right now to do this live.
I'll let you know if I say.
I'll start up the campaign now so people can see what that's like a little bit. It is a little bit of a slow start. There's some monologuing at the beginning. The character like talks to himself for a little while. We'll do normal difficulty. Sure. Oh, I can start later. Oh wait, no, I haven't unlocked it yet on this on Quest 2.
Dice asked, "What are you casting to?"
We have a guide up at uploadvr.com. I just updated it before going live, so you can read for more details there. But I am casting my headset to a Chromecast, which is then plugged into an HDMI splitter, which is then plugged into a capture card, which is then plugged into my computer.
Jesus Christ.
That's what you do. That's how you have to do it. There are other methods, like you can use side quests wirelessly. That is an option, but I don't believe you get audio that way. Chromecast is the only method I know of that has audio and video that's at decent quality.
Oh, where's my gun? Locked and loaded. Damn. Well, hey, I'm sorry things didn't work out between us, buddy. But
How was the audio balance on everything? The game audio and mic audio, all that good stuff. Let us know in the chat if you can.
Yet. Fighter Rouse asks, "Do you think the Oculus Quest is worth it in Europe?"
Yeah. I mean, the huge caveat that you have to talk about, you can't ignore, is you were required to have a Facebook account that is active, that is your real identity, according to them. You have to connect that to use a Quest 2. Like you can't even.
So like, if I
use the
deactivate
headset.
my profile for a week, does that mean I wouldn't be able to use my Quest 2 for a week?
I believe so. I think that's right.
Whack.
still got some ammunition left too. Let's stock this
Dice
baby
said
up.
it sounds good.
Okay, cool. Good old burger patty here.
I have like something in my throat.
Yeah.
Allergies are really
Alright,
bad.
Time for some target practice.
They have to do. Yeah, well, see, Jimster, some opticians, at least in my experience, won't do it because they know that if they give you your IPD or they even measure it, that you're just gonna go online and buy cheaper glasses. And I have dealt with plenty of opticians that don't even like. If you ask them, they just say that they don't have the tools to do it.
levels though?
because they
I
want you to
mean,
buy.
you could just
glasses
walk
from
into
them.
any glasses store and have them measure your IPD.
Sure, they could do it at Costco. I don't know why
Yeah.
Costco was my first go-to, but probably.
Yeah, Costco, Walmart, go to Lens Crafters at the mall, like whatever.
Yeah, lens crafters are probably. Do you really want to go to a mall or a lens crafters during a pandemic?
What did I just say? Don't
As I shoot
get
here,
too close.
fighting for myself in the zombie apocalypse, I honestly, I forgot. So,
You happy now? Didn't have to
so
go down
what I
like
will
this,
say
you know,
is,
coulda sat
you know, of the
down,
3 games we've done so
had
far,
coffee, talked
Drop
it
Dead,
through, but
that
no.
is a game that is a rail shooter, right? So it's just
I guess we're
kind
done
of stand in
here.
one spot, shoot zombies, it moves you along the level,
down
you know,
street
etc.
yesterday.
It is what it is, very simple. Death Horizon, a little more advanced. The levels are mostly indoors and closed, but you can explore, you can walk around, so there's a little more freedom. You can climb stuff. It feels like more of a robust game. They both have co-op. This one is, as you can see, much larger levels. So I think this was like the first VR game I played in 2016 that felt like a real full game. Because so many VR games back then, oh god, that you would play would just be like kind of mini game collections or tech demos, or they'd be like an hour long and you were left wanting more. And this one came out whenever Oculus Touch controllers did in December 2016. This was like a launch title for Touch, because a lot of people forget the original Rift, when it launched in April of 2016, it didn't have motion controllers. You got the Rift and you got an Xbox controller in the box, and that's what you got. You got one sensor, it was 180 tracking like PSVR, and that's all you had. So the original Rift games were seeded Xbox controller games. And so whenever Touch came out in December of that year, it was a big deal because they had obviously funded some more larger advanced games like this and kind of partnered with studios to produce these games. And so this was one of the first VR games I played that was like, you know, a true, you know, 4+ hour game. It's kind of dated now. I think you can tell that. But at the time, it was pretty impressive. And now having this on a standalone headset like the Quest is crazy, especially because you can play this whole story co-op with a friend. It's got Horde Mode, all that good stuff. So even though this game is 4 years old, it is, you know, kind of showing the evolution of the types of VR games out there, because then once I go play Saints and Sinners here in a little bit, you'll be able to immediately see the difference for a game that was, you know, released and developed for 2020 versus one for 2016. There's a pretty big difference.
So, G-Dog Cheeseburger said
Oh my god.
that in their Oculus app it shows the wrong name, even though in their Facebook account it has their real name. Is that a problem? Like, will Facebook get mad at me and delete all of my games?
Are you asking about your Oculus username? Is that what it's showing? Because if so, that's fine. Because mine is set
Yeah,
up
'cause-
so where I have my Facebook connected, and I think if I'm Facebook friends with someone that I'm also friends with an Oculus, it'll show them my real name.
Oh, wait.
But by default,
that
my
video.
Oculus username is
Wait.
displayed.
I should check out that
Yeah, that's how
radio.
it is for
Wait,
mine
I
too.
should check out that radio.
Same as my
Oh.
Twitter.
Oh, wait.
Dang it, I don't want to listen to
Check
the
out that
radio.
radio.
One.
So if it's showing your Oculus username, then you should be fine.
Someone's broadcasting something, but where? Damn it! Alright.
When I go into the account, it says
I need to
"Hello,
find
Min,"
another
and that is not the username or my real name.
Oh, that's
Uh,
weird.
That sounds like a problem.
I mean, I'm guessing it's probably not gonna matter. As long as your Facebook account is connected, then I'm assuming it should be fine. But maybe submit a ticket or ask them. You
That's
know,
what I was gonna say
like
too.
what
A minute ago.
what's going on, and you know, because I don't know. Maybe like Facebook has your name stored as that somewhere, and I don't know. Did you change your Facebook name? Is that what happened? Maybe it's taking a little bit to update. And so here's an example of what Quest 2 gives you that the original Quest version of this game doesn't have. Cars have windows. Cars do not have windows in the Quest 1 version. And a lot of the detail on the heads, like the gore details, a lot of those are way more advanced in the Quest 2 version. There's more blood splatter on the ground. But yeah, like all the windows, like being able to shoot through the window and break them, all that stuff is new for Quest 2. That's not there in the Quest 1 version. It's there in the PC version.
Hunter said, "It really bothers me that this isn't cross-buy since I own it on PC, Oculus, but have to rebuy it on my Quest 2."
Yeah, I think that's a developer decision. I think it's case by case.
Yeah.
That's at least that's what Oculus has told us in the past when we asked. And I definitely agree with you for a game like this that is not only old, you know, that this is a game that's 4 years old at this point, but it also has multiplayer. So, you know, for a lot of people, they would want to play this with friends, and maybe they would be more likely to if it had cross-buy, because then they would already own it on the other headset. I'm kind of, yeah, I agree with you. I'm a little surprised this doesn't have cross-buy.
Fabster asked, "Any news on their next game after the fall?"
No, we haven't heard about that game in a long time. We should probably see if
What
they
was
can
that
give us
one
an update.
game that I really wanted that I tried at PSX?
Star Child.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that whatever happened to Star Child?
That game's got to be canceled because
It was so
what's the
cool.
Playful? They laid off a ton of people. They
Yeah.
said, you know, there's like restructuring going on, and they've pivoted pretty much completely to non-VR. Like the past, I think 2 or 3 Lucky's Tale games have been like Xbox and Switch, and
Yeah.
Thinking of the bastards.
so I'm guessing Star Child's dead. That would be my assumption. Which
How
is,
would? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a bummer because there's like a demo out for it and everything. Like it was
The demo was really good too. I loved how
Yeah.
you could like lean in and like look at all the little things, and I loved the aesthetic of it. It reminded me of Trine.
Yeah,
G-Dog
yeah.
Cheeseburger asked on a Quest 1, is there a way to check if the account is connected?
I think you can do it in the mobile app. I think that's where you can check your connections and stuff. I don't think there is inside the headset.
Jamie, to answer your question, I would say that standalone VR will become the majority of the market, yes, because it's most accessible. And PC VR games, I think, will be the same because you can use the Oculus Link. And
That took quite a bit of ammo. Let's see
You
if I
know,
can find
use
some
it
more
that
of
way.
these cars.
Yeah, it's a really unique situation because no other, you know, slice of the game industry has anything like this, where it's a standalone but can also plug into something else to play a whole other library of content. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
have you guys tried out Frostpoint VR Proving Grounds beta? Really fun so far. Trying to complete the 10 matches to get a key for the game for the promotional thing they do.
Yeah, I think I might stream that tomorrow. I've played the beta a little tiny bit. I was planning on streaming it the week it came out, but then Solaris happened and Walking Dead and Star Wars Squadrons, and there's just been so much keeping me busy that I just haven't had time to really put much effort into Frostpoint yet, especially since it's a public beta. In terms of coverage, I'm usually prioritize fully finished games. But now that Quest 2's out and we've done a lot of streams of it, I think I might shift back to doing some more PC stuff. Frostpoint's a game that I was very excited for, so I'm curious to check it out more. I really like NXile. They're a great, very talented studio, and Brian Fargo has an incredible track record in the industry. So I want to see what he does with a VR competitive shooter. It's a pretty big pivot for NXile.
TGD Emo Kid asked if the Quest 1 and 2 can play together on Onward.
Yeah. So Onward is crossplay across Quest 1, Quest 2, and PC. So everyone plays together in that game, regardless of your headset.
Bye, Jimster. Jimster's leaving.
See you, Jimster. Gotta loot everything. Usually the cop cars have ammo. And as I say that, this one does not. Oh, there we go. All right, whenever people want me to switch over to Saints and Sinners, I can. That one.
People are asking. People are asking when Saints and Sinners happening.
All right. Let me kill a few more zombies here, and then we'll switch over. The one thing about Saints and Sinners is that it is the slowest in terms of like getting started and into the game. So I probably will be relatively quiet for the beginning, where there's some narration and introductory moments and that kind of stuff. And then once we get into the real meat of the game, then I might talk a little bit more. Or I can skip all that if people want me to just get straight into the game. I think you can skip all those cutscenes.
Someone said blow up the barrels.
There's one.
G-Dog said skip.
Skip the cutscenes? Okay. I think there's a big battle here that I'm not going to go that far because it can take a while. There's a big swarm that comes. So let's go ahead and tap out here.
Daniel asked, when you get to the bus stop, can you stop at the recipes? I want to see if the DLC ones are.
Sure. There we go. Now we're getting into the Big Daddy. Where is it at? What do they have it under? Here it is. Oh, this one has cloud syncing. That's cool. I want to say when I reviewed this, I played it on Steam, so I'm guessing it doesn't sync with that version. It probably syncs with the Oculus Home version. So I think I'm going to be starting from scratch here.
Oh, because G-Dog said they don't want the game to be spoiled. They just got it and have not got in the game.
Okay. I think that's probably the case for a lot of people. This is a very narrative-driven game. And there is a Horde Mode on PC, but it's not out on Quest yet, called the Meat Grinder update. It'll be coming soon, and it's free. It makes the game 4 gigs bigger on your Quest. The base game is like 8 gigs, and once they add the Meat Grinder update, it's going to be 12 gigs on your Quest. The trial, yeah, that's what the mode's called here. Okay, I can continue from last time when I was streaming it briefly. So I think I should be through the tutorial already. And so just to frame this game and kind of set expectations a little bit, you saw Arizona Sunshine. It was a very like walk from point A to point B through the level, shoot the zombies, etc. These levels in this game, after this segment, this is like the intro segment here, but once you get past all this and you get into the actual game itself, these levels are really big, and this is like truly a survival game. So you have like your health and your stamina you have to pay attention to. You've got a backpack here where you can keep bandages, where you can keep different weapons, where you can keep crafting ingredients. And you have limited storage space, so you have to, you know, manage all that. And then you get back to a base where you can create new weapons, you can create food, you can make bandages, all that kind of stuff. There are like quests and side quests that you can do within the levels, and it's a big game. It's an impressive game, and it's I don't know. I mean, I would say I probably enjoyed this game more than I did Half-Life Alyx when it came out, just because I'm not a big Half-Life fan really. There's not a whole lot of nostalgia for that franchise for me. So I enjoyed this game a lot on PC. I haven't finished it on Quest. I've barely played it.
Daniel wants to know if you stab a zombie in the head, take the knife out, and shine the light on the zombie's wound and zoom in on it.
That's very specific, and I'll do that for you. So, oh wait, this zombie you can't. It's just decoration. Hang on, I think we should find a zombie.
Decorative zombies.
Here we go. Here's a walker. So you sneak up here. Let me get all the way in there. There we go. Alright. And you can see here. Yeah.
Is there an ending to this game?
Yeah, there's a story. It's a full narrative. One of my favorite features here. See the knife? Wha-bam!
That's pretty cool.
You have to shake the flashlight when it starts blinking. Because immersion
I'll have to
or
play.
whatever.
Does this game have any co-op or multiplayer, or is it just solo?
It is purely single player. I'm gonna say that I am pretty surprised. It looks pretty good on Quest. Like I said, I haven't really played it before on Quest. I reviewed it on Rift S. And the one thing though, because this is an LCD panel, not an OLED, is the blacks are not as vibrant and not as deep as they would be on the Quest 1.
Interesting.
And that's something a lot of people have noticed. And it's just, it is what it is. That's the technology. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's still alive. I forgot about this.
Fool.
Just chilling,
Such a damn
hanging out.
fool.
I think the volume's really low, so I don't know if anyone can hear him.
No more. Please. I can't. I take no more.
No one has said anything.
Oh yeah, this is Henri is his name. Because this is New Orleans, so people have names like Henri.
Millicente asks,
easy.
roughly how many hours would you say
I'm
this
here.
game is?
No one is gonna harm you anymore.
I'm trying to remember. I know I said in my review, I want to say
Now you show up.
maybe 10 to 15, I think.
Both sides.
It could be much longer. I mean, it depends on how quickly you play it. Because like I said, it's very much a survival game. It's very slow paced. So if you go super stealthy and you really try to explore a lot, you could get a lot more time out of it.
All I got. All I've done. Don't.
Alright, so he's telling me that this is a guy that you talk to at the very beginning of the game. There's a little campfire scene where he's telling you about how he needs help finding this stash in New Orleans. And right now he's saying you can have, you know, 50-50 of the stash. He knows a woman that he wants you to locate and give her his half of the stash, and you keep the other half because he's clearly dying. And then he tells you about where his bus is located, where you can set up as your base, basically. And so I'm talking to him like, who is she? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he eventually asks you to kill him, so. Went ahead and got that out of the way. My shank is also destroyed, so I need to find a new weapon. Okay, we are now at the bus, so I can check on the crafting thing that person was asking about. Yeah, see, there's that field of view dimming. I'm wondering, can I turn that off? Yeah, and can you still hear me, Tatiana?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So blah blah blah. Voice immersion. Oh yeah, this game has the mic detection, where you can speak to the NPCs with your actual voice.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, there's a mod for that in Skyrim because there's a mod for everything. Disable all vignettes. There we go. Nausea reduction. Oh, turn that off.
Ian is already throwing up. Not even here.
Yeah.
You think about it.
There we go. Alright, so here are the recipes. I don't know which ones in particular you wanted me to look at or whatever.
Are there any 8-ball like pool table games for VR?
I don't think so on Quest. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Did you disable narrators? One asks.
Disable narrators. Do you mean subtitles? Subtitles aren't on, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, so here you can see, like, these are your food, like healing type recipes. Then over here, we've got guns, ammo, all that good stuff. And then you've got melee weapons over here, like making a shiv. You can make
This is Gerald. Gerald is here. We must protect Gerald at all costs. We love Gerald. Everybody.
grass clipper.
Gerald.
Welcome to the family.
Gerald actually has a question. For voice immersion, does it require you to say it exactly like the option text is, or can you say anything and it'll pick a quote best option?
I think it requires you to speak the option. I could be wrong. At this point, I reviewed this game like 9 months ago, so it's all a blur. But I'm pretty sure you have to like actually speak the option. I think that's accurate.
There was someone that subscribed, started with a K. It went by really quick. Thank you for
And
subscribing.
by God, I was
There was
spot
another
on.
one earlier, TRM. I don't know if I said that one.
It's out there. It exists.
The people who
This
tell
jungle
you a
is
story like the lady and the
So
ring,
what's
can you
work to
make
be
that
done?
go away?
Stones that gotta be overturned, riddles that
Tell
need
you a
solving,
story like the lady.
waterfall, and
Like this voiceover right now?
has to be connected to the result
That's a good
Command
question.
and control, I'm guessing.
Let's see.
That's
If I pause,
step. If I can get this
yes, you can
blasted
hold Y to
radio
skip.
repaired.
There you go. I figured it out.
We did it.
Whoops. Oh my god. There we go. Oh, there's no power yet, huh? I need to get a battery. I remember now. It's all coming back to me. Oh, there is a battery right here.
There's also a gun.
I think it's broken.
Oh. Lame.
Okay, it does. Do I know which frequency I need to put the radio on? I want to say, is it like, there we go. Sleep until morning when it's safe. Find clues about the reserve. Repair the radio.
Someone said 61.
Oh, I need the microphone. I don't have a working microphone yet.
Cheeseburger asked, is it just me or is the Oculus app really slow?
The mobile app? Yeah, I've had problems with that thing ever since forever. Yeah, this is broken as well. Broken revolver. Get some scrap.
Very
Bandages. Definitely gonna keep that. Wait. Oh, it's behind my left shoulder. Okay. One thing I really liked is the bus. How there's all these shelves and stuff everywhere. You can find, like, while you're out exploring, you can find like little trinkets and toys and stuff, and bring them back here, and just decorate. You can put things, you know, wherever you want. It's a nice feature. For example, the skull. It's a very important decorative item.
Can you change the color? Like, I've noticed that all like the menu like highlight things are like a magenta color. Can you change that color?
Good question. Let's see.
It seems very abrasive.
HUD. You can enable it. Blah blah blah. Hide. Control map. No controls. Turning mode. Let's put it on smooth. I just physically turned, so I don't really need it anyway. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. It's kind of surprising.
From a graphic design standpoint, it just bothers. Like super, like I get it, like it makes it so
Yeah, high contrast.
see it, yeah, but it just the option to change that color would be nice.
That's how you go to sleep, is you drink from the flask.
Get drunk,
And
go
so-
to bed.
You'll see now it says day 2, right? That means every progressive day, it gets more dangerous. Very gradually. Okay, so now I need to go use the skiff to go over to the town, and we have to go find a microphone, I believe is what my objective is. Is that right? Use the skiff to travel to the shallows, search for a microphone in the Blue Mansion. That's my quest. Can I make anything before I go? I've got a knife, a couple bandages, and that's it. So let's see here.
Dice asked, "Is it just as smooth as the game on Steam?"
I would say so. If you notice any stuttering or pixelation, that's probably just the Chromecast output that you're seeing. inside the headset, it looks quite good. And I do have it unlocked at 90 frames. I can see my little overlay up there that tells me.
Cheeseburger, that's a good question. I have no idea when Facebook Horizon's coming out. We were supposed to get the beta at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think it's invite only still.
Who knows?
I don't even think it's active at the moment either. On the stream, I think it was yesterday on the stream, I tried to jump in because I have it installed still, but I don't think it's active at the moment. Here's some arrows. Is this arrows or are these just... Oh yeah, it's arrows, okay. I wasn't sure if it was arrows or just sticks or something.
Where's all the zombies? Well, we don't want them to be near our bus. We'll find them.
Clearly the safest point for a bus base is a graveyard.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Duh. But you know.
Of course. Yeah, so this game it's very much like a survival game. So you have to manage your health and your stamina by eating and drinking. And so that's a big point of it, kind of from a meta perspective, is it's about managing those resources and also conserving your gear, because where is it? The shallows? There we go.
This is running on Quest natively, right?
Yeah, I'm playing on Quest 2 natively. Yeah. So like all your weapons, your guns, your melee weapons, all that stuff, it all has durability. Everything breaks eventually. So you have to be aware of that. There's a crafting system back at the base. You can find a lot of stuff out, like when you're scavenging. But yeah, so this is very much a survival game. See, like this stuff though here, right here, this is a broken rifle. I don't think I have any use for this other than just scrap parts. Whoops, does it go inside? Okay, it does.
Dewey Donovan said, got my Oculus Quest 2. I saw you were doing a 90 Hz stream. However, after enabling it in experimental features and ensuring it was set up correctly on virtual desktop, still had games running at 72.
Yeah, that you need to look up our guide on how to enable it fully, because right now, if you go into the settings itself and you turn on 90 Hz, that only works in the home menu and the Oculus browser. It doesn't work in any apps officially. They've disabled that. But if you look up our guide, you can use SideQuest. If you plug your Quest into a PC, you can enable 90 Hz in everything by running an ADB command within SideQuest. It's very simple, very easy to do. Our guide explains exactly how to do it, but you have to do that extra step, otherwise it's not going to work.
Please.
I'll get you the URL.
So let's try
Can you hit zombies with broken guns and weapons?
He begged me not to
I believe so, yeah. I don't know if it would do much damage, but I think you can.
The cable on the side of his head, Lucifer, I believe, is to a battery that he has in his pocket.
That is correct. Also earbuds.
Would you be willing to help me
that
out?
too.
I just can't break myself.
Alright, so if you weren't listening,
I need someone
her
else.
husband is trapped upstairs in their home where they turned, or where he turned at, and she's afraid to go back because she wants to get, you know, some heirlooms, some family heirlooms, like I think his wedding ring, but she can't bring herself to kill him, so she wants me to go kill him for her and bring her back the ring. This is kind of a side quest. So let's see here. Gerald was asking about the voice dialogue. Let's see. I'll help. Didn't do anything.
Maybe you have to yell at her.
Let me see. Is there something I'm not doing right here? Is this turned on? Voice immersion. Says it's on. Audio. Okay, let me make sure my mic's on. Gonna double check here. Yep, mic is on. Okay, let's try this again. I'll help. For free?
Gerald said yell it. If your kid isn't waking up, it's not loud enough.
I guess it's not working, I don't know.
I locked Ruben in a room. Second floor of the Blue Mansion.
Oh, it's the Blue Mansion, so it's the same building that radio or microphone's supposed to be
Looks
in.
like you've got the alarm in sync with the chiming bells that rile up the walkers every day.
Yeah, I forgot about that feature. So you can see here my watch has this little circle going around it. Whenever that circle is completed, the bell tower near the center of the town goes off, and it alerts a ton of zombies that all come. So it's kind of a timer. Each day you're a little limited on how much you can do, which, I mean, you can technically stay and just tough it out.
Someone said voice immersion is so that zombies hear you when you are making noise, not for dialogue.
Oh, really? Is that true?
Scream and see what happens.
Now they can hear you. I think that's right. That sounds correct. I don't think it was dialogue. I think I just have Skyrim on the brain because I've been modding that lately, and so I think you're probably right. I think I got my features confused.
Does the 90 hertz thing make the Guardian run at 90 hertz too, or no?
I think so, but I mean, it's still going to be black and white, kind of crappy looking. It doesn't really change anything for the Guardian dramatically, as far as I know. Hey, you! Oh, he did look at me. Oh, God.
No.
So this is going to make it interesting to talk while I'm streaming, because they're all just going to hear me talking all the time.
In case you care, Twitter is down.
There we go.
You care though.
You have to really shove it in there. That's what she said.
He doesn't care.
No, I don't.
Could short-sighted guys use this device without glasses? Well, I mean, if you're nearsighted,
no.
Well, actually, as someone who has astigmatism and is nearsighted, not really, no.
No, because the whole point of it is that it simulates the depth, right? So, I mean, if I didn't have my glasses on, I wouldn't be able to see anything, hardly.
Yeah,
I'm
tried to use a
nearsighted.
Quest without contacts and glasses, and I'm like, oh, I'm still blind.
Yeah,
That's what I want, though. I'm hoping in the next 2 years we get those, you know, the things where you can just... There's a word for it. I've heard a million times where you have the doohickeys on the bottom of the headset. Just turn them to, like...
Yeah, the Gear VR had that. And my vision is so bad that even that wasn't enough.
Jesus, what is your prescription?
Oh, I can't remember. Well, whenever I used to wear contacts, I think it was like negative... I want to say 8?
Oh my god! Are you legally blind?
No,
Oh
but it's pretty bad.
Really bad.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Can you stab your hand in the game?
I don't think so.
Guys, like, what are you doing, bro? -8. Damn. You can't see nothing.
Oh, I'm bad.
Like,
yeah.
I'm negative. Well, because my eyes are different, but like my right eye is like negative 2.5.
Oh, that's
and even
nothing.
that's like, I can't see. Your contacts must be like glass. Hella thick.
Yeah, I paid extra to have the thin lenses in my glasses. Otherwise, they were like bottle caps. It was ridiculous.
I didn't know they could actually do that now for
Yeah,
people
they
with
can trim them.
really bad eyes, like you.
Yep.
My cousin's got real bad eyes like that too. He's like -7 or something.
And I know what you might be thinking. It's not VR's fault. I've had glasses since I was in 3rd grade.
Have you noticed any blur around like text and stuff on your Quest 2? Someone said that they have like blurry like halo around words. They want to send it back. It could be an IPD thing. That would be my first guess.
Yeah, it could be IPD. It could be how you have it positioned on your face. You want to make sure it's as snug as possible, as snug as you can handle, so it doesn't move or shake around.
Yeah,
like, for example,
still the blur.
Like if I, for example, I'm looking at the menu right now with these words. If I move it up like barely any, then the words start getting blurry. If I move it down, the words start getting blurry, because you have to find the sweet spot. Every headset has a
There's
sweet spot.
someone more blind than you. Gabriel is -10.
Dang.
Wow, I am amazed by this.
Right, we're gonna
I
physically
think
crouch here.
It's relatively comfortable for David, the Quest 2, right?
Yeah, I would say out of the box, it I think I probably prefer Quest 1 slightly, just because I liked the stiffer strap. But once I got the VR cover, it's about the same. I like it just as much as I did the Quest 1, but I'm also one of the people that wasn't really, affected by the by Quest 1. I thought it was fine. I know a lot of people didn't like it from a comfort perspective, but
Do you get the screen door effect or God rays on the Quest 2?
the screen door effect to me is basically gone. I don't really perceive it anymore. If I stand still and I really kind of look up close at like a texture like this, I can kind of see the screen door, the individual pixels a little bit, but not really. God rays, I think maybe I'm just used to them at this point because I barely notice them anymore. They are there, especially on loading screens where if it's an all black void with some text on it, you're gonna see God rays more than you would inside of a game. But it's not that bad, really, I don't think. But also, this is one of those things that is entirely subjective. Again, you might be affected by or notice some things that others don't.
Yeah, there's really no such thing as like VR for all in terms of how you experience it. Ribbubble asks how the blacks of the Quest 2 compare to the Index. I know you had said something earlier.
I don't personally have an Index at home. That's a question for Ian. He has both. I can't really answer that. So this is her husband, I'm guessing.
Is he dead? Is he zombie? Oh no. Rip. Are you using the Quest 2 mic or are you using a different mic?
I lied to you.
For the stream, I'm using my headset mic, so not the Quest mic. It says, I lied to you, I'm sorry, I had to spare you, I lost hope, our children died by my hand. I had to set them free to protect them from a fate worse than death. I know you'll never be able to forgive me, but maybe one day you will understand that I had no choice. They did not suffer. Take comfort in that. Well, that's depressing. Here's the ring. Oh, that's sad. You can guess what these two corpses are.
Gamertag said they used it earlier and everyone seemed very surprised. There's someone out there saying it's bad. Hope you can help change. Yes.
What's he talking about?
The mic, I think. Yes. Mic. I'm assuming.
As far as I know, there's not a way for the Quest 2 mic to get picked up on my stream. I don't think. If I'm using Chromecast, I don't think I can. If I was virtual desktoping it, I think I could. But I'm using Chromecast because I'm playing native stuff. I could be wrong.
I agree with you, Retrig 202. I think Oculus packaging, like even with the CV1 and the Rift S, it is in the Quest 1. Really nice packaging, simplistic design. Nice. I appreciate good packaging, good graphic design. Like the Target brand, Good and Gather, they use a really nice serif font and simple colors, and I just really appreciate that. I'm weird. Thank you, Stacy Bates, for subscribing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Johan said, tried 90 Hertz today, was awesome. I got the Guardian bug quite frequently. I hope they fix the bug soon. I think someone else was talking about...
What's the Guardian bug?
I think the Guardian not being 90 Hertz. Someone was saying like it would kind of be jittery at like 72, if I recall correctly.
I wouldn't even know how to check for that. Oh god.
Oh god, they coming. Gamertag VR said David is correct. My bad. I was using Oculus Link through OBS.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm using Chromecast right now. But I've heard whenever we do the VR download, we're using the Quest 2 mic. And I think it sounds good. If you want to go look at one of our VR download episodes,
I think
And-
asking Heaney, that's a Heaney question. Heaney will tell you what Mike's the best.
Yeah, as you can see here, they have posters of their first VR game, Skydance Interactive Archangel. It was a mech combat game. Kind of a little hidden Easter egg there. Not hidden, but an Easter egg.
I like egg.
Anything in here? I'm still looking for the antenna. I can't remember which room it's in.
I cannot help you.
There is a crouch button, so you can artificially crouch, but it also does have realistic crouching. If I remember when this game came out, it did not have realistic crouching. You had to use the crouch button.
That was a patch.
Yeah,
I
they
remember.
patched that in, which is weird. You think it'd be the reverse, right?
Yeah, you would think. Johan said basically it interrupts the game and resets the Guardian, making you have to redraw it mid-game. Kind of annoying when you're in the middle of a Beat Saber song. That is really annoying.
Oh, that's
That
really,
would
yeah.
make me mad.
I don't think
I
I
would
haven't
be
seen that.
angry.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me.
I would complain to someone.
Oh, microphone.
Oh, I think Twitter's back up, y'all. I just got a DM, so.
Oh, thank God.
You didn't care. Well, tweets still aren't loading, but DMs are working. I guess. That's whatever.
Anything on the bed here?
Has David made his decision regarding Silent Hill? No, but the only right decision is to start with the first
No,
one, and
I've
I'll
made
fight
I've made
everyone
my
in the
decision.
chat.
I don't
You have?
care what the poll says. I'm gonna play the first one.
Hell yeah, because that's the right thing to do. That is the correct thing to do. Come at me. I want to fight people about Silent Hill. Let's go. Got my hands up and everything.
Has anyone like modded any of those games to VR? Because I mean, I know they're third person, but
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Silent Hill in VR would probably make me poop my pants.
oh, that's creepy. Oh,
I don't like it.
Oh my
I don't like
God.
it. I don't like it.
that is so creepy.
Johan also said, but that's the bug I think they're talking about fixing before releasing 90 Hz in game.
Oh, okay.
I'm very still confused about like the whole playing Shattered Memories first. I don't agree with it.
All right, I'm gonna
So
head
many
back.
problems.
I've got everything I need. Let's go. Inform her that her husband
I
has
killed
been
your husband.
killed. I think if I remember correctly, you have the choice
You
to
did.
tell her about the kids. I don't know if I'm going
Gamertag
to.
disagrees with me, but I would never say not to play any of the series. I love them all. I'm just saying you can really easily skip the first, as SH2 is in the same story, but easily the best in the series. See, I wouldn't say like skip Shattered Memories, and I was talking to David about this last night. I feel like you should play the original trilogy first in order and then play it, because 1 and 3 are directly connected, and 3 is one of my favorites. It like came out when I was in high school, and that's when I was going through like my emo phase and my Resident Evil obsession phase, and I just liked Heather as a character. And I feel that if you go Shattered Memories first, you're not gonna really get that survival horror experience.
Well, isn't
and you're
Gamertag
gonna
saying
miss
to
a lot
play
from
2
3.
first, isn't he?
Yeah, he's saying you can skip 1, play 2, but if you play 3, I feel like by skipping 1, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm usually the type of person that likes to play entire series. The main reason I asked is because I know 1 is on PS1 and it is pretty old.
I think they ported it to. They have the PS3 like HD collection. I think they ported it to PC. I think Miztech played it on PS3 actually. I don't remember now. No, she played it on PC.
I think the collection is
Was it last
2
year?
and 2 and 3, or 2 in Origins, or I can't remember. I don't think it has the first one. I remember because I was kind of surprised. I could be wrong, but I don't think it has the first one.
Kiri Yamaoka is also just like one of the greatest. I got him to sign my Silent Hill 3 contract.
Alright, so I need to go back to that lady, and then I can go back to my camp Yeah, this is where I came from. I'm probably going to stop after I get back to the bus. This should give people a pretty good idea of what this game's like. It's not open world, but levels are very large. There's a lot to do and explore. There's side stuff you can do. Lots of looting, crafting, survival mechanics. Combat's very fun. It's got some of the best feeling combat in VR I think I've ever experienced, just because of how interactive it all is, how everything has weight to it. Whoops. You have to really put some power behind swings.
Clearly. Damn.
I know we're going to have to discuss updating our best of quest lists. I'm going to make a case for this taking the top spot on the entire store.
What time do we normally stream? I'm usually not here. I'm usually doing
If you're
back-end
talking
thing.
about our talk show on Wednesdays, the VR down or Thursdays, the VR
Oh, bro.
download, that's usually at 1 p.m.
Yeah, Thursdays
That's
at
from
1 p.m.
our virtual studio. Game streams vary. It kind of depends on
What day
what's
it feels
going
like
on
it.
that week. Yeah, we try to do VR Roulette. That's our other game show that's like kind of wacky and funny around 10 or 11 a.m. Pacific. That's on Wednesdays usually. If I do a stream like this that's not connected to either of those, then it's usually in the afternoon. So I usually try to start around 1 p.m.-ish.
Yeah, like we start at like 1:35, 1:40ish Pacific today.
Is it?
You can follow us on Twitter. We usually have a post that goes out when we're live. Or you can reach out to us on Twitter and ask.
Here's the ring.
I recovered the ring.
Join our
Just
Discord
drop
as
this
well.
axe real quick to give you a ring.
Yeah, I know. You only have one slot for a two-handed weapon. Or wait, actually, can I put this behind my back? I can't remember.
Accidentally hit her. in
I
the face.
can. I forgot there's a back slot. Okay.
Is that a Breath of the Wild shirt? Gamertag is asking.
Just a Zelda shirt. Just a white Hyrule crest.
Hold on to the good memories.
Have you tried Population
They will
1
keep
yet?
you sane.
Cheeseburger?
I will.
Yeah, you can watch a bunch of gameplay here on our channel. And I also have a full preview written up on uploadvr.com. Oh, I forgot about this. The code to the safe. I don't feel like going back though.
I
think
gotta
I'm gonna-
ask, G-Dog Cheeseburger, where is, in your opinion, the best cheeseburger from? I gotta
Whataburger.
know. Oh, obviously. Honey, butter, chicken, biscuit. At 4 a.m., honey, butter, chicken, biscuit was for you, David.
Yeah. I haven't
Dante
had-
Luigi wants to know what your favorite car game is. Dude, you need to go back to Texas just for Whataburger.
car game. Are you asking about all of VR or Quest specifically? Because there's not really many racing games on Quest. There's a couple like kart style racing games, and there's what's it called? Void Racer. That one's kind of like Wipeout. If you're asking all of VR in general, I really liked Drive Club VR. Rest in peace.
Rip.
Yeah.
The
Beyond
Krusty
that,
Krab.
I like Project Cars 3 quite a bit. It's more arcadey than Project Cars 2 was. It's a little more accessible. I liked that. I reviewed it. There's some footage on our YouTube of that too. I played it with a racing wheel, so it was a pretty cool experience. I liked it.
Shenho or Shuho, sorry, and David can correct me if I'm wrong. Battery life with the Oculus Link, I think, is standard because the Link doesn't really charge it at the same
kind of
rate.
it's kind of extended-ish because it's kind of like a trickle charge situation. It delays the battery dying by quite a bit. I'm playing standalone right now, wireless, with a battery pack in my pocket. So I've been streaming for how long now? It's been about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And my battery life has not moved.
You have a VR power in your pocket, right?
Yeah, it hovers around 75% whenever you're using that as a battery pack. So I probably have, I don't know, let's see, what power level is my VR power at right now?
For what it's worth, Shu, with the VR power on a Quest 1, I was actually able to get like 9 hours and 35 minutes, however many seconds, in one sitting on a
It
full charge
says
on
I've
full.
got about 75% of my charge left, so I probably have at least 6 hours left on the VR power, and then probably another hour, hour and a half inside the headset left over.
Because the VR power's claim is up to 10 hours, and that claim is factual and true, at least for the Quest 1.
Yeah, if you're playing a game actively like this, then it's going to drain the battery a lot faster.
Let's see, what did I do with my... No, it's called the VR power. I'll get the URL for you real quick for my review. VR power... VR.
Yeah, so they have a version of it on their website that is supposedly will connect to the Quest 2 on the back of the head strap, so you can wear it. The one I have is the strap is designed for the first Quest, so I just have to put it in my pocket because I can't wear it on the Quest 2 for some reason, just the way the strap is made. But the Elite strap from Oculus officially is another option. I don't have that yet. I have it ordered, it just hasn't arrived. But Jamie loved it in his review. We have a video and article review of the Elite strap. Okay, there we go. Got all my stuff stored. Let's get the microphone here. Beautiful. Task completed. Alright. Well, I think we're at a pretty good stopping point. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed watching our rundown of the 4 zombie games that you have available on Oculus Quest, from Drop Dead to Death Horizon, Arizona Sunshine, and finally The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I played them in the order of what I prefer, in terms of ranking what I think is from worst to best. That being said, all 4 games are good. I would recommend all 4 games. It just depends on what you're looking for. Drop Dead is a rail shooter like House of the Dead. Death Horizon is a relatively linear shooter that has some climbing mechanics, and it has a
Gamertag said, "Look at Solaris, please." That's what he said.
Look at
David,
Solaris?
look at Solaris. That's what he said.
Look at Solaris. What about Solaris?
Said, please get David to look at Solaris. Lars.
What about it? Because I've already streamed it
I don't
and
know.
reviewed it. You can read my review at uploadvr.com. There's I like Solaris. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Good game. But it's not a zombie game, so it's irrelevant. You shut your face, gamertag.
It's been enhanced today, he said. Oh, and someone else said there's a new update today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the key relevant information you left out of your comment. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed watching some VR zombie games here on Quest. Maybe I'll turn this into an article ranking them. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
All the zombie games for spoopy season.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we made it a whole 2 hours without a single person saying 5 Nights at Freddy's.
That's a record right there.
That's a record.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to do a stream just of that, which I did that back when it came out, but I think it deserves a new stream here with the Quest 2 coming out.
Someone else said, yes, please rank them. That would be useful. Dante is asking what your favorite VR game of all time is.
Favorite VR game of all time? See, I have 2 answers to this. If I'm talking about like the made for VR game that blew my mind the most, that's Asgard's Wrath. That was the first 5 out of 5 score we ever gave on uploadvr.com. I love that game to death.
Which one was it? It was...
Asgard's Wrath.
Oh, Asgard's Wrath. Yeah.
It's basically like a Norse mythology version of Zelda, because it's dungeon based progression with new weapons and items and gear, lots of puzzles.
So like Skyrim?
What was the question?
I said, so like Skyrim?
No, because Skyrim's open world.
Sure.
I would say Asgard's Wrath is more like Zelda, because it's a relatively linear progression of the story, but the levels themselves are pretty big. But it's not open world, open-ended like Skyrim. So that brings me to my second answer. Skyrim VR I would probably put as my personal, like, nearest and dearest VR game, just because of the adoration I have for the franchise. But I fully admit that it's not a good VR game from a perspective of being VR. Like, it doesn't have very many made for VR elements. It's a very lazy port. There's a lot of flat menus you have to navigate. But if you mod it, you can make it pretty awesome. And so that's where Skyrim comes in. I think that to me is still kind of my favorite, but a lot of that's from nostalgia. But if you're talking about made for VR, then I would say Asgard's Wrath.
What about your favorite Quest game?
This one, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I think it's the best overall Quest game. It's a great proof of concept that shows that you can make a full experience on Quest that doesn't have to cut corners. It doesn't have to be an arcade experience. It doesn't have to be like a roguelike or something procedural or something that's repetitive or simple. Like, this is a full, very detailed game, and so I think it's a great example to developers of what you can accomplish. And it's even better on Quest 2, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed watching the show. Hope you had fun. Thank you for subscribing, Riv. I appreciate it. So thank you everybody. Make sure you check out uploadvr.com. That's where all of our news, reviews, interviews, features, all that good stuff is published. We have a lot of original content here on this YouTube as well. We've done a lot of Quest 2 streams this week if you want to check out some more gameplay footage. So yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I'll probably stream again tomorrow, I'm guessing. I mean, I might as well. I don't know if I'll do Quest 2 again. Maybe I'll do Frostpoint or something else. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And we will see you all again next time.
Bye, everybody.
Welcome to the family, son.